This is May the 20th, year 2040. This may be the last broadcast I'll make. Today is the anniversary of what some people regard as being the beginning of the war. The history of this war is insane. Some people say it started with one man, the Thunder Christ. But we ask ourselves, was he really a Christ or was he really an Antichrist? During those times, this new atheism started to spread around the world. Entire nations cut themselves off from the internet. But somehow information and ideas still started to spread. It was a terrifying time. The various religious groups, they just wanted to survive, protecting their ideas, their rights to freedom of religion. I can hear gunfire in the hills. Instead of the exchange of ideas, things change even further. The far right got hold of the atheist ideology and started to use it to spread their own hatred, to try and undermine freedom and democracy. Soon the fascists and the atheists were almost indistinguishable. And then instead of groups trying to protect each other through the exchange of ideas and what they called ownership or ponership, an alleged art form which seems to have been destroyed in recent years, the groups became militia. It started with the atheists. Although there were death threats before then, when the atheists, people who did not believe in a soul or a spirit, started to get hold of the idea, they carried it further forward to its logical conclusion. The world got divided, not into religious groups and atheistic groups, but into militias. There was the Christian militia, the Jewish militia, the Islamic militia, the pagan militia, and there were many different denominations of each one. There were even different militias amongst the atheist groups. There was the Condolites, who wanted to drive every single person of a different ideology out of the nation. There were the Footites, who believed that they only ever believed in science, but they were becoming more irrational and more insane as time passed by. And there were many others. Soon the world erupted into war. And the atheistic groups, despite their ideological differences, they got together to try and create one massive army. Their only weakness was infighting in their own ranks. Then the spiritual groups, the religious groups, started to unite against the common enemy of the marching hordes of atheists. So many men have fallen. So many women raped. I'm terrified. And I know not how this war will end, or indeed when it will end. And when it's over, what ideas will run the world? How will they be enforced? We have yet to find out. Some people curse the internet itself, curse its very existence, and call it a danger. But it wasn't a danger in its own right. But the mentality of the people who used it, that's where the problem was. Irrationality, fear, hatred, paranoia. It all became part of regular day-to-day communication out there on the internet. And from that came this war. Some of the atheists converted to religion, and some of the religious people lost their faith. It scares me to think that these people of both groups couldn't see that their own ideologies were essentially pointing to the same thing: understanding, peace, harmony, the advancement of technology and science, and a belief in the better things in humanity. But instead, these goals, they got eroded, and the only thing that was left was hatred and violence. We have not moved forward as a society. We have gone backward. I fear for my life now. We used to celebrate today, in our own little way, on this day that we regard as being the beginning of the war. But we celebrated it with mourning and wearing black. Good luck and Godspeed to our soldiers. And God bless all the members of the religious militias. Amen.